Okay, today I got the hood up on the Geo Metro. This one's 92 convertible LFI, the 3-cylinder one. And I'm going to change the fuel injector. A while ago I had rebuilt the throttle body when I rebuilt the engine, and at that time the injector I bought was aftermarket, and it simply didn't fit. So I got a new GM Delco, AC Delco, original one that would have been on this car, and I'm gonna change it. I've had a high idle on this car, and I always wondered if that, you know, ever since I rebuilt it, I always wondered if that wasn't the issue as far as it just leaking fuel by. And the only way I'll know is to replace it, and I just want to replace it anyway because it's probably the original that came on the car. Start by just taking off the air filter assembly. Should be a bolt here too. Mine doesn't have it. Take out the EGR tube. Another one on the bottom. And one connector in the back here. And then I'm going to pop mine all the way off. I don't need that in my face the whole time. The injector, easy enough. It's located right in here. So, like as I said, this whole throttle body had been rebuilt, but when I went to put it back together, I realized the aftermarket part didn't fit. It simply wouldn't push down in there. So, I just left it. But I'm just trying to diagnose the high idle, so let's see what we got here. So if you're looking for a complete how-to video, this is probably not it, because, for example, the first thing on any job is take the battery cables off. I personally don't see a reason to, just because I'm not going to have the ignition on during the repair, and there shouldn't really be any fuel pressure to be had because it's been off for several days. So you know, I may not include every last safety thing. If I didn't mention, this is a 3-cylinder G10 engine. This particular one happens to be in a 92. And then these look like Torx or hex. I gotta take a good look here. Okay, started with the standard hex there, and they just wanted to strip, so I got one of these shockwave hexes, a little bit bigger than what it was supposed to be, and hammered it down. Now let's see if we have any better luck. These are the hardened ones, impact ready. Yeah. If you don't lock onto those right away, you're going to spin them, and you're going to hate your life. Try the same procedure with the next one. And that little shock of the hammer can help loosen bolts too. Spun it. Alright, I'm not going to be like the other channels and show you that it came out the first time. How great they are. Because that's not how things happen. I'm going to try to find a way to get this out. Now keep in mind, everything I'm hammering on is aluminum, so I'm not going to go crazy. But I'm just going to hit the head of this a little bit to get the head to loosen from the piece underneath it. Hit it a little left, a little right. And I'm going to hit it down, and I'm hoping I can curl some of that metal back in that's stripped out. see if that has any effect at all. Start with the light issues. And actually I've curved it down quite a bit, unfortunately. But it did go in. Let's just see if that helped us at all. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. She come out. Now, if you did have your car running recently, you would have wanted to bleed off the fuel pressure. One way you can do that is you could pull the fuse for the fuel pump and just run the car. You could take off the line. You could probably take off these screws and let it squirt out, because that's the regulator. But this one has been off for several days. Now I just need to get a hold of that thing and basically pull straight up. That's the actual injector. What it looks like is this, and there's an O-ring at the tip, and there's an O-ring down below. Or actually, that one's plastic. I guess the real O-ring's up at the front. There we go. Yeah, there's a little fuel going down the gullet right now. There's our old one. And the old one is actually a Bosch 95500-260. And the new one's the original AC Delco Professional. And the number on it is 19550-2160. So that is the exact, in every way, like the original. Just make sure the sealing surfaces look good. I don't see a bit of corrosion. What I do notice is the O-ring is still down in there, so I'll have to fish that out first. It's not down far. I think the regular old needle nose will get it. Yes, it came right out. There we go. These injectors are actually getting kind of hard to find. Can't remember if I paid 160 bucks for this or something like that, but most of the ones you find are just remanufactured. I think all they basically do is clean them up and put some new O-rings on them and stuff. I don't really know. A wise man might have put a little bit of lubricant on that. I'm going to be that wise man. Alright, now let's see if we can get that thing in there. It seemed like it wanted to bind a little bit. I really don't want to go easy. There it goes. All of a sudden you'll just feel it bink. That's all it takes. Beautiful. And this has an O-ring on it too. I would have replaced that during the rebuild, I'm sure. I'm just going to leave this same screw on the same bit. Leave that bit on there. make sure the other one's gonna make it. Get that one almost all the way down if I can. And I'm just gonna go for a final torque on this one because the bit's already in there. And you may want to put Loctite on those if you're that daring, because if they were to fall out, right in your engine it goes. One side is longer than the other. Probably like that. I think that's how it was. It's either this way or the other way. I got a 50-50 chance. Alright, this is my first one. Looks like I got a split on that one. This is just a vent, not super critical, like that's sucking in a lot of air. Put that one in first, then put on my connector that I took off. Good, we guessed right on that. Put the PCV valve back in. There we go. Alright. Let's see what if she'll start up and prime up for us. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, a little further information on that AC Delco part, AC Delco 217-3137, and the GM number on mine was 19187-349, if that helps anybody. Well, in this case, it did not change my idle speed at all, but it does sound to run smoother in general. So I'll call that a win. Alright, simple DIY project that just about anybody could do. I hereby declare that fuel injector Wildwood certified. Thanks for watching.